Okay then my friends, so now we've initialized our Firebase project on the front end locally on our computer. We've created this public folder with all our different files in, and we've also used Firebase Serve to preview locally what the website looks like, and it looks something like this. So now the next step is to actually deploy this to Firebase. Now if I go to my Firebase console and go to the project that I created, I'm going to go over to hosting again. And when it pops up, click Get Started. Go to Continue. We've done this. We've done this. We've done this. Now we need to do this, Firebase Deploy. And that will take whatever is in the public folder and deploy it to the Firebase server. So let me now come over here. And by the way, when you click Finish, after going through those steps, you're going to notice this different panel here. And it says it's waiting for our first release. So it knows at the minute that nothing has been uploaded, but when it has been uploaded and we've made a deployment, this will be the URL to our website right here. So then let's now deploy this. What I'm going to do is make sure everything is inside public right here. We have index, about, 404 and the styles. Now I'm literally just going to say Firebase deploy and make sure I have this in focus, Firebase deploy, and then press enter, and this will deploy our website. So once that is done, you're going to notice down here that we have the project console. This is this URL, and if we clicked on that, it would just open up this page. We also have the hosting URL, which is where our app has actually been deployed to, and this is the URL we would visit if we wanted to preview that in a browser. So first of all, I'm going to go back over here and I'll click refresh just to see if it now recognizes that we've made a deployment, and it does. So we can see down here the current version which we've deployed and the time it was deployed and who deployed it. Now the file says 0 at the minute, but it will go up to, I think, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 soon enough. So let's just wait a second. In fact, if I refresh, we might see this go to 4. No, we don't just yet, but it will after a time. But what I'm going to do now is try previewing this in the browser. So let me now click on this URL, and now we can see this site right here. So this has successfully deployed. If you see something else, it might be some kind of placeholder page by Firebase. You just have to wait for an extra minute or two. Eventually it will update. As long as you see this deployment right here, then it will eventually be shown here. Okay, so this right here, this shows the latest release. Now, if I was to make a change and do another release, it would show that release instead. But sometimes it's nice to see several different releases that we've made. For example, the last 4. So what I can do is go over to these 3 dots right here and go to version history settings. Now, it's going to say that older versions are going to be deleted after one version. So it's not really going to show us a list of different versions. So what we could do is change this to 4, for example. Then we could deploy up to 4 different versions, and each time we deploy one, it's going to update over here, but then we could view the previous ones and even roll back to those if we wanted to. So let me save this, and now what I'm going to do is come over here and make some kind of change to the website. So inside public, let's go to the styles, and instead of crimson, I'm just going to say royal blue, and we'll do the same down here where we have another crimson color. So change that to royal blue. So all we're doing is changing the color of the title at the top and the little bars on the links. So now we've done that change, let's deploy this again. I'm just going to say Firebase deploy again right here and press enter. And then when that's done, let me come over here and refresh this page. And if we scroll down here, you can see, by the way, now files is 6. That's some extra files that Firebase will have thrown in there as well as our files. But anyway, we can see now the current one is this that we just deployed at 4:02 p.m. and this is the previous one. Now if I go over here and hard refresh, then we can see that updates as well. So that has worked. Now what if I wanted to roll back to a previous version? Well, I could find the version, for example this. I could click this and go to roll back, and then that is going to roll back to that version right here. Okay, you can see the ID of this deployment matches this one right here, the current one. So now let me go back over to the browser and refresh, and we should be able to see, nope, we just have to wait a minute I think because it just takes a second. Let me hard refresh again. There we go. Now it's rolled back to the previous version. And if I wanted to delete a previous version, then I could do as well. I could click on the little three dots again and delete that version. So there we go, my friends. That is how we deploy a static site to Firebase hosting. So now we've seen that, the next thing I'd like to do is show you something slightly different, and that is how to deploy a Vue.js website this time to Firebase hosting.